I'm Dr. Shireen Idris, and this is how I work it. I'm going to take you through 24 hours of my typical skincare and beauty routine. I think like in fashion, you want to go high-end, low-end to get the best look. When it comes to skincare, you don't have to spend $1 million.
Good morning. It is now 6 a.m. I get up before the little one wakes up so that I can wash my face. That is a remnant from Saturday night.
I just wash my face with room temperature water to wake myself up. No soap. Because I've taken care of my skin the night before. So you don't want to just get rid of all of the natural oils that your skin are producing, and it's going to make your skin drier overall.
My morning routine is pretty simple. Once I brush my teeth, take off my glasses, put my contacts, I jump in the shower, apply serum, moisturizer, and sunscreen. I'm whispering because my husband is sleeping.
I usually alternate. Whenever I'm done with a shampoo, I'll switch to another brand. I mean, Kerastase is great. I'll use one shampoo until it's done after a couple of months, maybe switch to a second one, come back to that Kerastase. What I usually tell patients in the winter is you want to minimize the use of soap all over your body. So keep it just your underarms, your privates, because you're just going to dry yourself out. I love Cetaphil Restoraderm, just a wonderful body wash that has a lot of ceramides in it, so it does help keep your skin more absorbed, and it's really good for people with eczema or itchy skin, and I have that issue.
So I'm now out of the shower. First things first is I apply a serum in the morning. These days I'm working on brightening my complexion, so I'm using a vitamin C ferulic with antioxidants that are going to help fight the damage that builds throughout the day.
When my skin is still damp, that's when I apply the SkinCeuticals, the vitamin C ferulic. I love it. I probably use, I'd say that much. My sister did the mistake of just trying to and it kind of gets all over the place. But you can apply it on your fingertips. You get it into your skin. I tend to use it in the areas where I have the most sunspots, which tends to be over here. After I do my serum, I'll wet this beauty blender to where it doubles in size. I love the Weleda, the Skin Food. It's a really very strong, thick ointment. I think it's like $10. It just absorbs better as you're getting it into your skin. It preps your skin so much better. Because I don't use that much makeup, but it gives you a glow from within. I'm giving myself a lymphatic massage to kind of get things moving. While I'm doing my skincare, I use like a thick amount of this stuff all over my lips. It just slowly gets heated up and absorbed into my lips. I'll still apply Vaseline, but this just helps jumpstart my day. And I'll do it at night as well. On a day that I'm feeling really puffy, or I had a lot of salt the night before, or I'm just not feeling, my best, I'll put a spoon in the fridge or in the freezer for 5 minutes, take it out, it's really cold, and just kind of massage it on my face to help depuff.
Also, if I've gone out the night before or I was traveling and I'm feeling extremely puffy, I'll place a tea bag, a wet tea bag, usually highly caffeinated, so I'm using English breakfast tea, in the fridge, and then I apply it to my upper lids for like 10 minutes. It just really helps to depuff. I'll do it while I'm laying down, not while I'm holding a phone trying to film myself.
If I have a major blemish, a drop of Visine on it actually does help minimize the appearance of its redness. It makes me less self-conscious when I'm facing the world. Oftentimes a blemish disappears and you don't have to freak out. If after 24 hours it's still there, then I'm like, okay, let's take care of this. And the first thing I do is use those COSRX patches. It just helps to suck it out and just kind of calm it down. And usually within 24, 48 hours, they're gone. If they're not gone, then I might apply some either, prescription medication, or if they're really bad after like 5 days, then I'll use an injection, which is a steroid injection to just calm the inflammation down. But that's probably my stepwise routine when it comes to an active pimple. So after I've moisturized, I apply the sunscreen as well, because I never leave the house without sunscreen.
That's probably how much I use. Anything extra that I have, I will use on my hands. You always want to protect the hands. It can also get a little bit messy, case in point. So I don't usually apply this with my towel on. We're keeping it PG, and the towel will stay on.
As I'm going about my day, I do use a sunscreen powder. Right now I'm using the one by Tarte. It's actually really cool. You just click it and you can just this is all like sunscreen particles, and then you just reapply as you're going about your day. And it gives you that extra protection that you need. It doesn't mess up your makeup at all. And it's actually a great trick in the summer. It kind of helps blot all the excess oil that you get on your skin. And the time I use it the most is on a plane. When you're sitting next to the window, it's really unobstructed sun. People don't think of it, but I reapply probably every hour on a plane. So my makeup routine is pretty simple. I'll use a tinted moisturizer with SPF, because why not?
Then I use an under eye corrector. Apply from the inner corner of my eyes out.
After that, I would use a MAC liner just to kind of help line the rims of my eyelids.
Is this gonna look primitive and makeup artists are gonna cringe, but I don't care. I blend it in and it gives my eyes depth. Ever since becoming a mom, I gotta figure things out quickly. After that, a little eyeliner. I extended a little out.
Followed by Better Than Sex mascara.
And this I learned from Jessica Alba. Just keeps blinking her eye to coat each eyelash. That is my morning routine. I want to go get dressed and take care of my baby girl and then run to work.
Dermatology is such an amazing field because people realize what they have going on. And I don't have to sit down and try to convince them. Whereas like in internal medicine, you have to tell somebody you have diabetes, but they don't feel it, or they have high blood pressure and it could kill them, but they don't believe you because they don't see it. In dermatology, people see it right away. And so they want to help themselves. Good morning. So we are now in the office and oh, there's my assistant.
Oh God, why are you taking me like 8 patients waiting?
I'm actually going into this patient's room right now for a laser treatment. As you can see, we usually have these signs on so that nobody walks in mid-treatment. I have a little bit of rosacea. I get a little bit red in my cheeks. I can flush very easily if I'm nervous or if I'm anxious or if I have spicy food. And so there is a laser called a vascular laser, also known as a pulse dye laser, that I probably do once every 6 weeks. Every once in a while, I'll do a light Fraxel to address some of the sunspots. And then once every 1.5 to 2 years, I'll do a tightening treatment, such as with Thermage or Althera, just to make sure your skin stays tighter longer. 12:30, our favorite time because it's
lunchtime!
Finally. Did you order?
No, I forgot. Did you?
I did too. I was expecting you to order. I was gonna eat your lunch, so we'll see what's in the back.
This is our lunch.
No time to have donuts. I'm in people's faces all day, and so this is a must. They're amazing. Chew them up, swish them, and then you swallow. It kind of sounds weird, but they're incredible. This is one of my favorite patients. Hi! Hold on. Acne is definitely not something to be ashamed of. Everybody potentially has gone through it in life, but it is a medical condition that ultimately you want to treat. I see a lot here. I think from their cell phones and people wearing makeup and just not cleaning their phones and just constantly, you know. But I do definitely see an uptick in hormonal acne, especially in like women in their mid-30s, where it's just kind of coming up much more aggressively than it used to. If you're really down on yourself because your acne is really terrible today, it doesn't mean it's gonna be that bad down the road. And there are things that can be done to help yourself. Just don't overdo it. And if you've lost hope, then at that point, it's okay to ask for help. Find a board-certified dermatologist near you and find somebody that you actually connect with because that's the best person who's gonna help you. I think if people don't have good skin, it's the first thing they try to cover up and mask with makeup. It's the first thing that makes them very vulnerable if you do actually see through that cover-up. Once those barriers all come down, it's like there's no going back. It just takes on a whole nother level as a doctor-patient relationship. So it's 2:30. I have 3 patients currently numbing at the same time. So I have a rare break, and given that I'm pregnant, I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna run into the aesthetics room and just take a 5-minute nap. Hopefully, no one needs to know. They also have the best comforter, and so it's like when I—
Are you napping? What are you doing? We have patients.
I obviously want to keep my skin as good as I can for as long as I possibly can for myself, and that's what I advocate to my patients. You're not trying to do it for somebody else, so it just becomes part of your own fabric. So it's 4 o'clock on a Friday. We're finally sitting down, and I think I need to lay down because there's been too much weight on my back all day. So we started the day at 9 a.m. running. We've done a combination of Botox and fillers, Fraxel, which is laser resurfacing for skin color or texture. We've done tightening treatments. People come in asking for Botox like they ask for Kleenex. It's a gateway entry, I don't know. It's usually not what they need. So they'll come in thinking, oh, this little line bothers me, but then I give them a mirror and step way back with the mirror and I look at them and I'm like, do you see that line at this distance? And they're like, no. I'm like, what do you see? They're like, oh, I think I don't know. And I'm like, you're actually dropping from here. After treating all the patients, we cannot forget about our own. So I am treating my assistant. I'll inject myself with Botox and light fillers to keep my face lifted because signs of sagging and dropping occurs really in your late 20s, early 30s. And so I just do very little filler to maintain that natural looking lift. You're like ideal, you're not even bleeding. You don't just want to do Botox alone forever. You also want to address volume loss. You also want to address discoloration. You also want to address loss of elasticity. But doing a little bit throughout the years, constantly is the trick. It's 6 p.m. now, and the day is finally over. And I'm walking back home from work to see my baby before she goes to sleep. The most important part is your nighttime routine. Just like working out, You don't want to do it when you're too tired. Just get it out of the way once you come home. I've played with my baby, semi-bathed her, and I've put her down for the night, hopefully for the night. And at this point, I jump into my PJs and do my nighttime skincare routine before I can give myself any excuses of getting lazy and not sticking with it or passing out with all the crud on my face. During the night, it's when you allow your skin to relax, when you allow your skin to absorb the active ingredients, when you allow your skin to basically regenerate. And you're prepping your skin at night for your day. So hair up, because this is some serious business. We start off by taking off our makeup, and I tend to use micellar water. I put a generous amount on a cotton pad, and I really work on my eyes. Once most of the makeup is off, I use a very gentle cleanser. Does not have to be anything fancy. I apply the gentle cleanser on my fingertips, and I just apply it all over my face in a circular motion and use lukewarm water to wash my face. After I wash it, I use a small towel and I just pat my skin. You don't want to rub your face. If you have tendencies of having dry skin, it might make it worse. It's almost like dandruff. If you're dry, or if you have like dried lips and you start rubbing, it's like a never-ending cycle because one layer is sloughed off, the next layer is a new one, but you're sloughing off a fresher layer, and it's not happening in unison. So why would you do that to your face? I don't use toners on the regular. If I feel sometimes that my pores need an extra oomph to appear tighter, rose water is a great, small, easy trick. The rose water I learned from my mom. I'm originally Lebanese, and that's a very Middle Eastern thing. It actually really does help with the appearance of pores. After that, you have a clean base. That's when I exfoliate. And I tend to do this maybe 3 times a week at night. My exfoliator of choice is a glycolic acid peel. My favorites are Peter Thomas Roth. They have a 20% glycolic acid, or Biologique Recherche, the P50. It's not new, but it's my newest favorite, but the Biologique Recherche. People are obsessed with this, and they try to do it twice a day, but they're way overstripping their skin, and I'm noticing that they're actually breaking out a little bit by overdoing it, because then their skin tries to overcompensate and produce more oil. So that's the second one I use. And then the third one is one that I have in the office that I mix up myself. I love glycolic acid because it really breaks down the fat between the skin cells. By getting rid of it and sloughing off the dead skin cells, you're left with a newer, stronger layer underneath it. And so your skin is automatically gonna look tighter and look more firm. After I'm done with the exfoliation step, you're left with a brand new fresh base. And at that point, it's like your skin is hungry for any active ingredient that you're gonna put on it. I'm going to apply a serum, and this is very hard when you have one hand. I don't know what people do, but they do all this fancy gimmicky stuff. I always just kind of apply this way. You don't want to pull down. Who wants to pull their face down? So you just kind of like, give yourself a massage. Let this be like your 5-minute you time.
I then use an under eye brightening cream. I'm using the one by Ole Henriksen, which has vitamin C. And why do I keep brightening? Because you can never be too bright, both physically or mentally. I top it off with a moisturizer, given that it's winter and it's really dry.
If I am really spoiling myself, I love the La Prairie, the Skin Caviar Cream. For me, I find it to be an incredible moisturizer. I wake up feeling so much smoother the next day when I apply it. This sounds like a lot, but it takes me from start to finish, 7 minutes. So when I have a big event, I like to do an egg white mask the morning of or the night before. And basically I separate the egg yolk from the white and I whisk the white and apply it onto my face until it dries. Once it's dry, it feels very, very tight. At that point, I wash it off with lukewarm water and my skin looks pretty flawless. It looks pretty darn good. The yolk of an egg never really goes bad because it's surrounded by the albumin in the egg white. So to do it on your skin over time, it really does help to preserve your skin and to keep it a little bit tighter. Hey guys, it's me, Dr. Shireen Idris, and I don't know why I just waved. So I usually like to do my Instagram pillow talk after my little one's gone to sleep so that there's no background noise. After I do that, I get a ton of questions, so I try to answer some of them. So the main difference between Botox, Xeomin, and Dysport is diffusion capacity and onset. So my days are very hectic and they're very long. And so there is an app called The Calm.
Let your shoulders relax.
That woman's voice is like my Ambien without any side effects. Put her on and within 30 seconds I'm passed out, drooling. It's a long day. It's a long day, but it's a good day. The biggest advice I have is it's never a one-time treatment. There is no miracle treatment out there. You're not like a lost cause. There's always hope and it will get better over time, but be ready to invest the time to make it better. So that was my nightly skincare routine. I am now finally in bed. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll either catch you guys on Instagram or at my office. Take care.
Are you still with the Lord? She's on the go.